Hello. So what I'm going to be talking today is how we can actually build the next generation of voice assistants. What is the secret sauce? How can we make these marvelous little boxes work and have emotional and social intelligence? So yeah, we're living in the dawn of human machine communication, and this is the timeline. We went from Eliza in the 60s to what we claim today to be emotionally intelligent AI. But do we? I will claim that there's a few things missing, and I'm going to take you through some of those things. The first one is, do we understand voice communication? And here I have a title, Origins of Human Communication. This is a brilliant book by Michael Tomasello, which I urge all of you to read, where he explains that basically to be able to have a meaningful, going beyond essentially transactional, a meaningful interactional voice communication, you need to have all the things in the middle. You need to have joint attention, you need to have common ground, you need to have shared intentionality, which is the most important piece, right? So on the left, you can see the human brain going from perception to semantics to affect, mood, pragmatics, and intention. We do pretty good at the bottom. We're starting to do good in the top, right? So the technology is not quite there yet. And you see on the right the names that we give to the machine learning components of the same cognitive process. So that's one. We don't understand human communication yet as well as we should. And especially if you don't understand what joint intentionality is, I urge you to look it up. The second is, do we understand how we treat machines? And again, the brilliant late professor from Stanford, Clifford Nass, said, computers are social actors. What does that mean? It basically means that although we hate to admit it, we treat computers, we treat Alexa as if it were a human, although a very emotionally deprived and intellectually challenged human, yet a human. So we have to accept that to build machines that are truly interactional. Oops. 3. Most of you have heard of the uncanny valley. Basically, as we try to build machines that look more and more like human and behave more and more like human, we go through this user experience valley where things get worse before they get better. And currently, we are somewhere here, and the question is, can we just go through here and end up over there in terms of user experience? So avoid this uncanny valley of almost human but not quite human voice assistants. 4. We're all good in building machine learning and AI algorithms. The question is, to build such algorithms, we need to know what we're optimizing for. What is the performance metric here? And here are a few. Task success, if you're building something transactional. User satisfaction, if you're building something for the consumer. Maximize usage, if you're working for Alexa, for the Alexa price, for example, division, that's their KPI. And in other domains like education and healthcare, there might be other KPIs. So that's a challenge, right? I mean, we have different KPIs for different verticals and for different use cases. Let's go to search for some of the answers together. So Marvin Minsky, here are a couple of hints. He said, it's not whether intelligent machine can have emotions, but can we have intelligent machines without emotions? So emotional intelligence, social intelligence is part of any kind of what we believe to be an intelligent machine. More hints. We all know about Eliza, the first chatbot. Less of us know about Pari, which was the first chatbot with a personality. An interesting personality. I urge you again to look up these articles. It was a little bit of a shady personality, but he had a personality. And here I have a press clipping from my good friend Roberto, where he laments the death of Jibo. And it is a death of an AI, right? Jibo went offline a few months ago, and some of you that had Jibo in their homes, it basically went silent. And there was an emotional bond with that machine that was broken. All right, so what is the secret sauce? What are the different components that you need to make this breakthrough? We have things in the bottom like intent. I talked about joint intentionality, being able to make plans together with your machine being your companion, not your butler or your pet, being something that is at the same social stature as you. Context, understanding common ground. We know that the major players in this space are making strides in this area, so we're getting better here. Persuasion. And then we have things on top that we're a little bit more less adept at detecting, things like emotions and behaviors, personality, morality, social structure, and role. So if you want to actually break this down in what information you can find in the text, what is being said, versus what information you can find in the audio, how things are being said, things in the bottom are mostly related with semantics, and things on the top are mostly found in the speaking style, in the audio. Okay, so we need all of those. How many of those do we have today? I would say that technology on the detection side is about 2/3 there. So we already have started detecting some of the things on the top, not as accurately as we detect things on the bottom. Now, another piece of the answer is cognitive biases. We're not building machines that are perfect. We're building machines that actually are imperfect and have to have some of the cognitive biases that human brains have. Right, so this is another challenge, another piece of the answer. So I tried here to create this slide that has a lot of the knowledge that you can find in a lot of the VUI books and in the literature about how to actually build machines that are not simply transactional, but are truly interactional and actually project emotional and social intelligence. So it's important to build machines that display similarity with the user on the emotional behavioral level, because we like people that are similar to us. So to create engaging experiences, you need to have personalities that are similar to the user. It's important to be able to understand the dynamics of emotion. We're starting to understand this. We still have a long way to go, and build behaviors that are consistent. Be consistent, basically, on your personality level, what you say and how you say it. Don't mix up personalities. That's very uncanny. Persuasiveness, if you try to actually build machines that can persuade humans to use them as experts, you have to show them that you are an expert and build trust. Build association and interdependence with your user. And finally, be social, be positive, be flattering, be funny, be empathic. All these are good things that people expect in their friends and people they interact with. Now, to be able to build that stuff on the detection side, we need to have this MVP. This is the basic set of detection outputs that we need to have. So emotions, violence, arousal, and some basic discrete emotions like anger, sadness, happiness, etc. Personality, extraversion, dominance, and some stereotypical personality types. Morality, at the very least, fairness and loyalty. Understand social dynamics, association, and interdependence. And finally, basic behaviors, engagement, politeness, flattery, empathy, and humor. So if you don't have those, you won't be able to build a system that appears to have emotional social intelligence. Now, let me go to what we do at Behavioral Signals. So at Behavioral Signals, what we do is we focus on part of those outputs, emotional behaviors, and we try to build the best such systems in the world. We do this from audio and text, but our expertise lies on the audio side, and this is the tough problem. And how do we consume that? Basically, we have an API, and we have a bunch of partners that work with us. And I actually urge you to come and talk to me, or go to our website and visit if you're interested in testing and using this in your applications. And these are the basic outputs that we produced, basically speaking style information, emotional and behavioral information, and then some KPIs that are mostly use case specific. And these are the verticals where we have partners that are using our technology, VAs, robots, healthcare call centers, etc. So let me close with an example of how one of our partners was able to use some of the outputs that we produce to actually build Quentin Ferhatino, the first movie robotic director. And this is a robot that is basically interviewing people for a role in a movie. So let's look at the video. I guess not. I assume I'm not doing anything here.
Welcome, recruit. I am Quentin Ferhatino, the famous robot director. This is the chance of your lifetime to become a star. Repeat this phrase. Say hello to my little friend. Action.
Say hello to my little friend. Say hello to my little friend.
Say hello to my little friend.
Say hello to my little friend.
Say hello to my new friend.
Say hello to my little friend.
This time, try to be more aggressive.
My lord.
Get ready. Action.
Say hello to my little friend.
This was fun. You did a great job. You are the protagonist I have been waiting for. You totally sucked. But I don't give up on you. That was okay. But don't expect an Oscar. I think this was the winner. Your average score was 75%. You might get a character that dies early on in the movie.
So, to wrap up, you can go to our website to see use cases in education or healthcare. But I just want to close with this slide that emotions are not problems to be solved, they're signals to be interpreted. Thank you so much for your time.